Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Virgo. So, Virgo, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my old trusty tarot deck. So, the cards that you'll see are from this deck. Um, so, as an earth sign, Virgo, your reading is very, 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 very grounded. I feel like I haven't seen like such earth energy being symbolized in one reading as much as I'm seeing here for you. And so I feel like it all starts with a certainty, with a decision and an action. And it's interesting because it is a little bit like tying to the collective reading that I did yesterday for the solstice, especially because there is a particular card here which I'm going to show you. It's the the King of Pentacles. So what I keep on hearing with this card is being the King of Earth, King in Earth, King on Earth. So, and this is you, right? Coming as your full potential, coming as the best version of yourself, of your earthly nature. And so I feel like this reading actually is emphasizing something that you already know that you have to do, and actually you know how to do it, which is very interesting because in my experience, in terms of surrendering to the universe and trusting the universe and doing our own part and then surrendering to whatever you cannot control, the how part, right? The how things are going to happen is often very unknown. And I feel like here, you have been revealed some type of information that you have a very, like, it's coming through as a rare access, right? Rare access. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like pulling the strings of your roots. That's how visually it's coming through, and I'm going to show you why, because it's actually at the very end. But I feel like consciously you are already very aware of something that reveals to you a way, reveals to you a direction, because we're starting off with the Ace of Swords. And straight away when this card came through, because it actually was peaking already when I was shuffling. So to me, when it came through, it wasn't that big of a surprise. It was like, ah, yeah, I knew it, right? So, and I feel like this is you, this is your not reaction, but your the way that you're going to perceive this revelation, because I feel like it's not going to be something that is, wow, it's like I have never thought about this, I would never think of this, it's something completely new. No, I don't feel like it's something like that. I feel like whatever type of revelation perhaps the solstice, right, is bringing, and this very it's like a bubbly moment of magic in the air, right? Because yesterday was the solstice, tomorrow is the new moon in Capricorn, and it's also an earth sign as much as you, and you're, squeezed in the middle in a sense of these two collective intense readings. And I feel like that's very symbolic in a sense, because to me, at least personally, Virgo is the sign that represents Mother Earth. So even though, to me, Aquarius is the sign that represents humanity, right? Virgo is the one that represents Mother Earth, the earth itself, the planet, right? Gaia. And I feel like this is emphasized here in your reading today, and it's coming through with this knowingness, right? With this direction. This is coming through as like, I know what I have to do, and so I am going to act upon it. And this action is actually to strengthen, to solidify your foundation with the Four of Pentacles, especially because afterwards, this Judgment card was talking about continuous work. It was talking about kind of like mining, right? Mining your own foundation. And it's interesting because now that I'm saying that out loud, it's playing with the words minding your own foundation. So, which could be so, right? It could be like a type of intellectual work, but mining or minding your own foundation, right? It's like that which gives you structure, the thing that holds your basis, right? That which gives you this solid ground. So, but the reason why I'm emphasizing this continuous work with the judgment is because I'm seeing this as like a very repetitive kind of work, to be honest. So I don't know if it's like a thought that has been going on in a loop in your mind, and it's like, yeah, that's the reason why it might not be a surprise for you, right? Because it has been like maybe you have been mining to get to your foundation, right? It's almost like sculpting, right? It's like you have a sort of like a rough diamond in a sense in your mind, right? And you have been lapidating and working on mining. It's like mining your core values, your core foundation, right? Whatever gives you this sense of stability and structure. And I feel like the moment that it's like you keep on doing that, right? It's like the knowingness here is that you just have to continue. It's like you are on the right direction, right? As I said, this is giving you the direction, but it's not like, oh yeah, now I have to go in this other direction. No, it's like continue in this direction. It's like you knew it all along. It was already true for you, but maybe it wasn't this intellectualized, right? Perhaps it was more of a hands-on type of thing that now you realize intellectually, mindfully, that what you were already working on physically perhaps was already giving you the direction of something that you weren't aware of, but now you are, and it only confirms what you have been doing. I hope this makes sense. So here, after this judgment, we have the sculpture or the sculpted tree. It's actually how I'm seeing this. So the Ace of Wands here, it's beautiful because even though the Ace of Wands is the Ace of Fire, usually I see this as a tree. And I am seeing this as a tree, but not a tree that is not a natural tree, which is weird, but it's coming through as like a sculpted tree. And I've never seen this, but it's almost coming through as if this was made of marble, and with this laborious type of dedication to a repetitive work, right? It's almost like you have been sculpting a tree. And that might be a symbol, right? Especially because we're so close to Christmas. And I read, where did I read this? I read somewhere, perhaps was Matthias Stefano. I read so much of his stuff. Perhaps it was him that was talking about this tradition that, well, yeah, I think it was him. It's a ritual that he does, leading up to Christmas, where he plants a tree, and then around the tree he places runes, 12 runes for each month of the year, of the next year. And he was talking about how that is a Nordic tradition, how that is a perhaps a Scandinavian type of tradition about the Vikings, and how I'm not gonna remember the name of the tree. There is a sacred tree in the Nordic tradition. If you know that, please write down below. I can't remember. I don't know much about that tradition too, but now it's coming through as like that image of like a floating tree, and it's like kind of like a sculpture. It's kind of like a sacred thing. And it's interesting because there are so many symbols now that I'm thinking of sacred trees. I'm thinking of the second Avatar movie, and that tree, right, for Pandora. And I feel like, okay, so the message for you here in this, Virgo, is that whatever work, laborious, dedicated work that you have been doing, that now you realize you were already in the right direction, you seem to have like, well, the revelation, to be honest, is about what is going to be the not the consequence, but like the product of it, or like the beautiful sculpture that you have been sculpting, that you have been working on, and that is going to become sacred in a sense, right? It's like sculpting a sacred tree, right? Or because the way that I'm saying is sculpting is like taking off, peeling off. Didn't this peeling off come in another reading? I think it came in the extended yesterday. It's like peeling off the layers to uncover what is the core, what is the foundation, right? It's like you had to work continuously to work on getting to the core of the sacredness of your own work, right? I hope that this makes sense, because I feel like that gives you a lot of power, but a lot of security and trust in yourself, right? Here with the King of Pentacles coming next. Well, yesterday this card came through as I think it was yesterday, right? Or was it in the Leo reading? I cannot remember now, but I'm pretty sure it was yesterday for the collective. So, no, or maybe it was Leo, whatever. So, the King of Pentacles is talking about being king of the earth, king on earth, king in earth, and for the earth, right? So, there's a lot that you were already doing, that you have been doing continuously, consistently, and putting everything that you can. And I want to say a lot of hands-on type of work, right? Because this was showing me a very hands-on type of continuous work. So consistency, right? Dedicating a lot of your time for this in your daily routine. And knowing that the moment that it's almost like having the glimpse of the final product or the sacredness of your own work, right? Is giving you this sense of, I know my worth. I know my value. I know how much I can trust myself. I know how much I can trust it's like the direction that I receive, right? It's like this is you following your own truth and giving you this, maybe it's giving you the burst of inspiration right now with the fire element here, just to keep on doing this, right? To not give up. But it's like it's just bringing through like the consistency of your work, but how much this enhances your sense of value, your own value, right? It's like how valuable it is, the thing that you're doing, right? And I feel like that has a collective tone to it, even though the Emperor as the symbol for Aries, right, which could be seen as a very, not a selfish act, but a more like individual type of action, right? Something that would be for your own benefit. But actually, the way that I'm seeing the Emperor here is like this bow around the earth, right? And yes, this could be a symbol for wreath, right? As we are getting closer and closer to Christmas. So it could be a symbol for that as well. But I feel like it's almost like getting these traditional symbols, right, for Christmas, right, the tree and the wreath, and turning it into something more sacred, into something more, into it's not something that you do without thinking much about it. It's like you want to make sure that the work that you're putting on, maybe creating this beautiful Christmas celebration, Christmas ritual, right? Preparing the tree, preparing, the decorations, whatever it is, but doing so in such a careful way, in such a meticulous way, which is a very Virgo-like type of thing to do, but knowing that the benefit of it, knowing that like the impact of your own actions, of your dedication to this, is going to embrace all, right? Whether this is embracing your whole family or embracing like a larger family, right? As in like humanity as a whole. Because the way that I'm seeing this as like this tying a bow around the earth, right? Right? It's like tying whatever you're doing, even if it is like, um going to your core, going to your foundation, and doing something that is incredibly significant for you, right? In your personal life, Virgo, there's something about the significance of this for a bigger purpose that is, it's making you see that whatever you're doing in your individual life is proving how much you are incredibly invaluable to the earth, right? It's like you are enriching the earth because you are taking care of your part, right? And how much your part, whatever it is or however tiny it is having this effect of embracing the whole planet, embracing the whole humanity, right? Humanity as, you know, as like it's coming through as like humanity as children of the earth. So the consistency of your work, the dedication that you're showing to your work, and turning whatever you're doing into a sacred practice, which is so gorgeous, right? You are turning your laborious work into a sacred practice because you know that the benefit is not just for, your own benefit. It's like your own the beautifying your own space or beautifying your product, or like just for the sake of your own work. It's not that, right? It's like for the sake of the whole, right? This is talking about, it's like turning the earth somewhere beautiful, or a place that is beautiful for all, right? And here, ending with the Magician upside down, it's so gorgeous because the way that I'm seeing this Magician is talking about, because the Magician is right underneath the Ace of Wands, so it's talking about what is underneath this ground, right? If here we can see what is above the ground, the Magician is showing the root system, but it's so gorgeous because here, so do you see here the stars? I feel like this is part of the revelation that I was talking about in the beginning. So I feel like whatever revelation that comes to your mind as an insight, as an epiphany, as a confirmation of something that you knew all along, Virgo, is actually because when you go back to the foundation of it, and you know that this sculpting and peeling off the layers that are not essential, right, to the health of this tree, to the maintenance of the sacredness perhaps of this tree, is because the type of revelation that comes to you is that this job, this work, this ritual, this preparation for Christmas, whatever it is that you're doing, laboriously doing, with a lot of dedication, with a lot of like a precious touch, right? Is because you know that the roots of this tree are magical roots. I don't know how to explain this. It's like they're not embedded into earth, right? The way that I'm seeing this is almost like they're floating in space. So that can be a symbol, for this sacred tree in the Nordic culture, which I can't remember what is the name. I think it's it's something with a Y, right? If I'm not mistaken. You'll, I don't know. I might be wrong. So, either way, this is a floating tree that does not have the roots embedded on the earth. And that's the reason why I feel like you have the knowledge, you have the tools, you have the wisdom to know that your work is enriching is enriching the whole planet. And because of that, you understand that it's like uh, the roots can go, can reach farther than a normal root system. I don't know if that makes sense. It's bringing back like the family tree, right? It's like if what you're doing is, you know, just for your family, as in like preparing your house to receive family for Christmas, as an example, and you're taking care of, you know, the final touches with great care, you know that because of the impact is not just for your family but for a greater family, right, as in humanity, you know that the roots are not just connecting to the people that came before you in your own specific family this lifetime, but it's actually talking about like a far reaching root system that is a lot more cosmic and magical, right? So perhaps we are talking about like whatever you're doing is it's like taking the magic to the entire planet, right, to your soul family perhaps. So I feel like you are receiving confirmation that what you're doing is having like a very enriching touch for you, for those around you, and for those who are far from you, but also receiving the beautiful, magical final touches of your work in regards to whatever you're doing, to feel like you're getting to the core of something, right? I know this is very abstract, but it's like coming through as like turning your work into a sacred practice, and how that is having a greater impact, you know, going even farther than you think, right? So that's beautiful. I just feel like saying continue. Um yeah, and it's interesting because I feel like that is something that I often say here in the videos about like continue what you're doing. It's almost like encouragement because, you know, sometimes we do need confirmation that we are on the right path, and I feel like you are most definitely in the right path, Virgo. But if you are curious to see where this wants to go, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading, talking about runes, right? Rituals with runes. So anyways, if you want to join me in the extended reading, you can find the link down below, and I'll be very happy to see you there. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.